From Rome to Britain, President Trump is meeting with the British politician who helped convince England to withdraw from the European Union. Nigel Farage tweeted a picture of his dinner with the president Saturday night, and earlier in the week, Farage joined me for a one-on-one interview at CPAC, a conference of conservatives. Joining me now is Nigel Farage, former leader of the UK. Thank you for joining us. Tell us what we can learn from Brexit in the US.
Well, I think what Brexit was about was a feeling of helplessness, that what you voted for didn't lead to any fundamental change. In our case, we'd completely given away our sovereignty to the institutions of the European Union. We'd lost control of our borders. Now, the circumstances may be slightly different in America, but there was a feeling in much of America that somehow Washington had taken over people's lives, that the big corporates had too much say, too much power, too much influence, and that actually immigration was becoming a major issue in this country, particularly illegal immigration, which just has not been dealt with properly by governments for years. So the crossovers are really quite big, a massive disconnect between the ruling classes and ordinary people.
On the flip side, what can the British and Europeans learn from President Trump's win?
Well, I think the Trump win shows you can beat the pollsters. You can
and the media.
You can beat all the media. And Brexit was similar. But the surprises can happen. But I also think the object lesson from Trump in these first 34, 35 days in office is that he is actually trying to put in place the programme on which he was elected. How refreshing for the whole concept of democracy. I love it.
Says what they're going to do.
Absolutely. I think it's great.
That's very funny. Why are you here? Tell me why you came to CPAC, why you came to the United States.
I've been coming to the USA. I work for American companies going back to the 80s and 90s, so I've always a very close link with this country. I started coming here 5 or 6 years ago, meeting American politicians, explaining that we could not be your best ally in the world if we're trapped inside a European Union that was beginning to make foreign policy for us. So I've been coming for years. I'm delighted that CPAC invited me. There are some in this hall who think that Trump wouldn't have won without Brexit, that it was Brexit that kind of gave hope and inspiration to the activists in the Republican Party and the Trump movement.
Do you think that?
I think it helped, yeah. And I think what we saw in 2016 were the beginnings of a big global revolution. It's not finished, it's not over. Brexit, Trump, it's not a blip. There's a big change coming in the Western world. So I'm here partly to celebrate, because why not?
And you're not leading a country anymore.
Yeah,
so.
But I'm also here because I now think it's very important for the UK and the US to get our relationship back to where it should be. Frankly, Obama looked at Germany as being the main European country for America to have.
Angela Merkel, correct?
Absolutely, and I think now it's going to be the UK, and I'm very excited about that.
Before we leave, do you miss your job?
Do you know what? We all have different phases in our lives, and I'm enjoying this one.
Excellent. Nigel Farage, thank you so much for joining us.